Hello everyone, and welcome back to English Speaking Edge. We're so happy you're here today.
Yes, and today we're covering a life-saving topic, how to call an ambulance or ask for medical help in English.
In emergencies, knowing the right English phrases can help you stay calm, communicate clearly, and get help fast.
We'll show you exactly what to say, how to describe symptoms, how to explain the situation, and how to give accurate information to emergency services.
Before we begin, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to English Speaking Edge. Your support helps us create more real-life English lessons.
And this topic is especially important. One day, it might even save a life.
Alright, let's get started.
Let's learn how to ask for medical help clearly, calmly, and confidently.
So Alex, have you ever had to call an ambulance before?
Yes, actually, a friend of mine fainted during a hike, and we had to call for help.
Wow, that must have been scary.
It was, but staying calm made everything easier.
What's the first thing you should say when calling for an ambulance?
Start with, I need an ambulance, or I need medical help.
Simple and direct.
Exactly, emergency operators need clear information fast.
What about saying it politely?
You can add, please, but in emergencies, clarity matters more.
What if you're not sure it's an emergency?
If someone might be in danger, call, better safe than sorry.
What if the person is unconscious?
Say, someone is unconscious. That alerts them immediately.
That sounds serious.
It is, they'll send help right away.
How do you describe what happened?
Use short, clear sentences. He fainted, she fell, he can't breathe.
Instead of long explanations.
Yes, they don't need a full story, just key facts.
What about giving the location?
Give your address first if you can.
And if you don't know the address?
Describe where you are. I'm in the park. I'm near the library.
Or send your GPS location if possible.
Exactly. Many emergency services accept that now.
How do you describe symptoms?
Use simple words. He's dizzy, she's bleeding, he's not moving.
What if the person is breathing oddly?
Say, he's breathing, but it's slow, or she's not breathing normally.
That helps professionals prepare.
Yes, they need to know what equipment to bring.
What if someone is having chest pain?
Say, he has chest pain, or she might be having a heart attack.
Should you diagnose the person?
No, just describe what you see.
What if the person is choking?
Say, someone is choking and can't breathe.
That sounds urgent.
It is, the operator will guide you immediately.
What if the person has allergies?
Mention it. She has a severe allergy, or he had an allergic reaction.
Should you mention medication?
Yes, if you know it. For example, he took insulin, or she's on heart medication.
What if you don't know their medical history?
Just say, I don't know their medical history.
So honesty is important.
Yes, never guess.
What about injuries?
Use simple terms. He broke his leg, she cut her arm, he hit his head.
What if there's a lot of blood?
Say, there is heavy bleeding.
Should you describe the color of the blood?
No, just the amount.
What if the person is awake but confused?
Say, he's conscious but disoriented, or she's awake but confused.
That's helpful detail.
Yes, mental state matters.
What if the person is having a seizure?
Say, someone is having a seizure right now.
Should you hold them down?
No, keep them safe, but don't restrain them.
How do you describe a fall?
He fell from the stairs, she slipped and hit her head, things like that.
What about elderly people?
Mention their age if possible. She's around 80 years old.
Why is age important?
It helps emergency workers prepare appropriate care.
What if a child is injured?
Say, a child is hurt, or a young boy fell.
Should you mention if the child is crying?
Yes, he's crying, or she's not crying.
Not crying might mean something serious.
Exactly.
What if someone is having trouble breathing?
Say, he's struggling to breathe, or she's wheezing.
Should you mention asthma?
Yes, he has asthma.
What if someone collapses suddenly?
Say, he collapsed suddenly. I don't know why.
Should you check if they're breathing?
If you know how, yes. If not, the operator will guide you.
What if the person has no pulse?
Say, I can't find a pulse.
That's scary.
Yes, but stay calm. Operators are trained to guide you.
Should you hang up once they send the ambulance?
No, stay on the line unless they tell you to hang up.
What if your English is weak?
Use keywords: help, ambulance, hurt, breathing blood.
Should you apologize for bad English?
No, emergencies don't need apologies.
What if you're crying?
Try to breathe slowly and talk clearly.
Emotions are normal in emergencies.
Yes.
What if the injured person is your family?
Still speak clearly. Emotional control helps them.
Should you yell at the operator?
Never. Yelling makes communication harder.
What if you're in a loud place?
Move somewhere quieter if possible.
What if the injured person refuses help?
If they're conscious and aware, it's their choice. If not, you call anyway.
What about burns?
Say, he has a burn, and describe the size.
Should you say the cause?
Yes, if you know hot water, fire, chemical.
What if someone is vomiting repeatedly?
Say, he's been vomiting for an hour.
That could be serious.
Yes.
What if someone feels dizzy?
Say, she feels dizzy, or he's lightheaded.
What about fever?
Say, high fever, or give the temperature if you know it.
Should you take their temperature?
Only if you can do it safely.
What if someone has food poisoning?
Say, we think it's food poisoning.
Should you mention what they ate?
Yes, if you know.
How do you describe pain?
Stomach pain, back pain, severe pain.
Should you rate it?
Yes, on a scale of 1 to 10.
That helps doctors understand the intensity.
Exactly.
What if someone overdoses?
Say, possible overdose, and mention the substance.
Even if it's embarrassing.
Yes, honesty saves lives.
What about infections?
Say, the wound looks infected, or there's swelling.
What if someone cuts themselves deeply?
Say, deep cut, heavy bleeding.
Should you describe the size?
Yes, about 5 centimeters.
What if someone is shivering uncontrollably?
Say, he is shaking and shivering.
Could be shock.
Yes.
What if the person is diabetic?
Mention it. He has diabetes.
Should you mention insulin?
Yes, if they used it or missed it.
What about stroke symptoms?
Say, face drooping, arm weakness, slurred speech.
Time is critical for strokes.
Yes.
What about CPR?
If trained, start immediately while calling.
Should you tell the operator?
Yes, I am doing CPR.
What if you've never done CPR?
The operator will guide you.
What if you're alone?
Put the phone on speaker while helping.
Smart.
Yes.
Should you move the injured person?
Only if they're in danger.
What about car accidents?
Say, car accident, people injured.
Should you describe the number of people?
Yes, 2 people hurt.
What if someone is trapped in a vehicle?
Say, he's trapped inside the car.
That requires special equipment.
Exactly.
Should you check for bleeding?
Yes, tell the operator what you see.
What if the person is coughing blood?
Say, he's coughing blood.
Very serious.
Yes.
What if someone is allergic to medication?
Mention it immediately.
Mia. Should you bring their medication to the hospital?
Yes, if possible.
What if someone has a panic attack?
Say, we think it's a panic attack. She's breathing fast.
Should you try to calm them?
Yes, gently.
What if the situation is confusing?
Say, I'm not sure what happened.
That's better than guessing.
Exactly.
What if the injured person is aggressive?
Step back and say, the person is aggressive. We need medical help.
Could be mental health related.
Yes.
What if you're in a foreign country?
Learn or save the local emergency numbers.
Or ask someone nearby to call.
Yes, anything faster helps.
What if the phone battery is low?
Tell them, my battery is low.
So they get the information quickly.
Exactly.
Should you describe the environment?
Yes, indoors, outdoors, street, home, etc.
Helps them locate you.
Yes.
What if you're too panicked to talk?
Take slow breaths, speak slowly.
The operator will stay with you.
They're trained for that.
Should you follow their instructions exactly?
Yes, they know what's best.
What if someone has hypothermia?
Say, He's extremely cold. She's shaking. Low body temperature.
Should you warm them quickly?
No, warm them slowly.
What about heat stroke?
Say, overheated, red skin, not sweating.
Should you give them water?
Only small sips if they're conscious.
What if someone cuts themselves cooking?
Say, she cut her hand while cooking, bleeding.
Should you apply pressure?
Yes, with clean cloth.
What if someone breaks a bone?
Say, we think the bone is broken, or he can't move his leg.
You shouldn't move them, right?
Correct.
What if someone's breathing stops?
Say, not breathing, and start CPR if you can.
Should you count out loud?
Yes, the operator will guide you.
What if someone has poisoning?
Say, possible poisoning, he swallowed something dangerous.
Should you try to make them vomit?
No, never.
What if you don't know what they swallowed?
Say, unknown substance.
Thanks for learning with us today. This information can truly save lives.
Yes, and knowing the right English phrases helps you stay calm and prepared.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to English Speaking Edge for more real-life English lessons.
Stay safe, stay confident, and we'll see you next time.